Hi, my name is Shahzeb Khan and you are watching the YouTube channel of Pakistan's People-Led Disaster Management. Earth Day, 22nd April just passed by. It is a day that means a lot to us at PPLDM. The way humanity is changing the natural environment is factoring into a lot of disaster risks. For example, deforestation is causing floods and landslides to be more common. Poor forest management is making big wildfires more frequent. Climate change is causing a rise in all kinds of severe weather. Even emergent diseases like COVID-19 come about because of what we are doing to wildlife. As a result of all this, there is hardly any such thing as a natural hazard anymore. All of it is influenced in some way by human action. So, PPLDM is therefore deeply involved in the field of environmental protection, and we always keenly observe every Earth Day. But this Earth Day and the last one, they come in the most remarkable of circumstances, because thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, it seems that what we were fighting for every Earth Day finally came true by the time Earth Day 2020 arrived. The pandemic is basically causing a slowdown in human activity in general. As a result, in 2020, the world economy contracted by 4.3%. Manufacturing fell, trade fell, travel fell, a whole lot. And this offered a lot of reprieve to the natural environment in many ways. Wild animals were roaming across a lot more area because half the world's people were staying home. Air pollution nearly vanished in many major industrial regions. The decline in energy usage caused a 7% decrease in greenhouse gas emissions in 2020 compared to 2019. A decline that, if maintained every year until 2030, would enable the world to achieve the Paris Agreement goal of limiting global warming to under 2 degrees Celsius. Since the early days of the pandemic, there has been a rebound in human activity, but it's still suppressed compared to before the pandemic. So this Earth Day 2021, we have observed after an entire year in which planet Earth enjoyed unprecedented protection from human influence. It is not something to celebrate because this pandemic is a huge tragedy with already 3 million dead, 140 million infected, but it is still something to marvel at. However, what we need to realize is that this is no fluke. The coronavirus pandemic came about because of man-made environmental degradation, and it is one of many instances in which environmental degradation causes environmental disasters, which in turn limit environmental degradation. That's because disasters cause great harm to human society, which can cause a reduction in the human activities that cause harm to the environment. Let me illustrate my case with this scenario. Say there is a mangrove forest that protects a shoreline from cyclone storm surge. A lot of development happens along that shoreline. A lot of people move in and then they cut down the mangrove forest. This results in storm surges hitting the shoreline much harder. And after a few big hits from cyclones, development starts to be largely abandoned. People start to move out of the area. And what happens then is that the mangrove forests grow back. Things like this will be happening a lot all across the world as time goes by. So the point is that this entire phenomena of environmental degradation from human activity, it has a self-limiting aspect. And we're going to see it in the future a lot, because as climate change goes on, it's going to cause enormous damage to the economy, which presumably will result in a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. So this is something that we should take note of and that we should try to understand, because it's a very important phenomena. But as far as practical usage, I don't know, because we don't want environmental disasters to happen. That's the whole point of protecting the environment. So we should not rely upon that to get us to stop harming the environment, to act as a shield for the environment. But we can find a brighter upside to this, because every time an environmental disaster causes great harm to human society, that can prompt these humans, these people, to stop doing what they were doing that caused the disaster in the first place. Like what China has been doing since the pandemic began, by cracking down on its wildlife trade. So basically, as we continue our struggle, our worldwide struggle to protect the environment, this phenomena that there is a negative feedback inherent in anthropogenic environmental impact is something we should take note of and that we should take into account. So thank you very much, and if it means anything right now, Happy Earth Day.